know what the real flex is in this world? It's training your mind to be stronger than your feelings and your boundaries to be stronger than your empathy.
Recently, I did a reaction video that was requested of me, okay, on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, my Instagram is at RIVAH_JORDON. That's where a lot of my subscribers send a lot of their requests to certain content that they would like my opinion on. So I did my reaction on, the situation of Cardi B kind of like speaking out and, going public and, referring to Offset as a, BAN, BAN as in man. And, I was giving my opinion, and to my, not to my surprise, I should say, not to my surprise, I received so many comments in the comment section from various women who were coming for me. Okay, they were furious with me for the things that I had to say when I gave my opinion. I will of course link my conversation or my original video to the end of this video so that you guys can see it and watch it after if you did not watch it first. But as a matter of fact, let me just go ahead and play, before we get through all the comments, let me just play the video for you guys so you guys can hear, if you did not hear already, what she said in her video. I'm going to play it for you guys, and then I'll go through the comments and break it down for y'all. So this is what was said.
I really, really don't like doing the internet because you talk to and a mother will play in your face over and over and over and over and over again, and she'll be like, watch what I'm about to do, watch what I'm about to say. And it's so sad that I like to, this mother really like to play games with me when I'm at my most vulnerable time, when I'm not the most confident. He likes to play games with me because he knows I'm not an easy girl. He knows. Yesterday, I could have been out. I could have been chilling. I could have been this and that. He knows I'm in my house. He knows that I'm chilling. He knows I'm not doing the most. And I've really been sparing you. You've been feeling yourself, because of your album and you really been doing me dirty after so many years. Not even thank you that I got for your ass. And it's so crazy that I gotta go to the internet because when I tell you something, you don't take it seriously. And I'm so tired of it.
Okay, so this was her rant. Okay, I gave my opinion. My opinion was very much so, in the vein of, this is your husband. This is a situation that should have been kept between the two of you. You don't let us all up in your business, done telling us all these things. This is also in the time frame of him dropping his album and his album release and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, when I went to even his page, the amount of negative comments that I saw in his comment thread, just based off of her supporters, just again, involving so many people into your situation. And how unhealthy it is to even maintain or remain in certain toxic situations. It's unhealthy, right? It's super unhealthy. And I can't go over every single thing that I said because, I said a lot of things. But when I saw this first initial comment that says, you're just not a supporter of women, I just was like, first of all, how original. Okay, because since I started here, I've been hearing this same exact comment from a lot of women who obviously have an opposing view site. A lot of women who are feminists, who believe that, men are inferior and we don't need them, and actually we're better off without them. Like, a lot of these women come up and they have this point of view when as it pertains to me. Okay, what I find mind-boggling is that in my conversations, in my live streams, the amount of women who have literally come to my Instagram and said, you don't understand how you saved my relationship. You don't understand how I realized that I was actually doing the things that you were saying in the video, and it gave me a wake-up call. You changed my opinion. You changed the way that I view things. You helped me understand my counterpart way better than I have now. Than I used to. Now I'm in a space that, when we're having any dialogue or a disagreement, I can understand and empathize with my spouse. I said this before many, many moons ago, and I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. There are so many women who are in a friend group of other women who will purposely tell you all the wrong things. Yeah, girl, you could do all better by yourself. Oh, you don't need him. Oh, you cursed him out. Oh, you threw his stuff out the window. Oh, you did all that stuff. Well, he deserved it. You don't got to be the best version of yourself, girl. I love you just the way you are. You don't need to change. But when you look back at your portfolio, all the men that you have been with have had the same complaint. And so your friends are keeping you bound. They are keeping you in a place that you are unable to grow because they are keeping you reactive. Because that's what they see on reality TV. If he does this, then I'm supposed to be reactive. Oh, if he says that, I'm supposed to be reactive. If I do this, I'm supposed to do this. If he does that, I'm supposed to say this. If I'm hurt, I'm supposed to hurt him as well. The problem is that a lot of these women have normalized this situation and they think that that's healthy and they think it's natural and they think it's normal. And it is not. It's not. The minute that you give somebody control over your emotions, they now have control over you and possibly your freedom. I'm not surprised that, a woman will comment that I'm not a supporter of women because I can guarantee that whoever made this comment, her friends are not able to hold her accountable. I can guarantee it. I don't have to see. I don't have to guess. I don't have to. There's no magic to it. I can guarantee that she is not around people who hold her accountable. She's around people who fan her flame. How can you grow? How can you know when there's things that you have to work on? I love being a woman. I absolutely love it. I love everything about being a woman. I love my femininity. I love how, I just love the differences that us as women have. I love how different we are. I love being a woman. Which is why I can go through things, or I have gone through things, I should say. And I come here and I'm sharing the wisdom that I've obtained to other women. The validation in the comment section of men saying, yes, she's right, this is how we think, is in support of women getting it right so that they are not alone. So they're not by themselves. So they're not miserable. So they're not depressed. So they're not lonely. It's a self-check guide. Maybe there's times that I'm talking in a video and I'm not talking about you. Cool. Maybe sometimes it is hitting close to home. There's no ego about it. There's no problem about it. I'm not coming up here saying, I'm better than everybody. That's not my persona. And if you've been here long enough, you would know that. Real love, real support of women is not allowing you to be the demise of yourself. That's real support. Think about people who, I'm just using this for an example, okay? This is just an example. Think about people who suffer with alcoholism. When they take it away and they send them to rehab, they think, oh, you don't support me because you're not helping me do what I love. And they're saying, this is the ultimate form of love. I'm taking this away from you because I do love you. Probably more than you actually love your own self. Because of what you're subjecting yourself to. It might offend you. It might hurt your feelings. It might seem like, ooh, okay, girl, I feel like you was reading my mail. Okay. But it's tools. Some people say, oh, it's the approach. It's the this. It's the that. That's a lie. Because once you say anything that is contrary to what women want to hear, and I'm saying that to women because this is said I'm not a supporter of women, so I'm specifically talking about women, which is another thing. Oh, why you don't ever talk about men? Or why you don't say it? Because I'm talking to you. I'm a woman. I'm talking to you. I'm holding you accountable. I can only talk from my perspective of being a woman and dealing with a man. I can't tell a man how to be a man. But as I was saying, it might not feel good all the time. But again, anything that you say that is contrary to fanning a woman's flame, she gonna have a problem. She gonna be upset. It don't matter if you say it nice, mean, rude, calmly, with love, with the hug. They gonna have a problem. And again, when I look at the amount of women who told me personally, shared with me paragraphs of their life story telling me, girl, I watched this particular video and you said this and I was literally going through this and you helped me understand this. The women around me don't believe this. I had nobody to show me any other way. I thought I had to behave a certain way. Now I see a different way in a different avenue and I'm grateful. It's because they're at a space that they want to change. And when you want to change, you're willing to just listen and take the tools. For the women who don't want to change, who want to stay stagnant, who don't want to be held accountable, who want everybody to, have a certain mindset about them and, whatever they say goes and nobody can correct them and nobody can check them. Of course, I don't, assume that you're going to agree with me. You won't agree with the people who love you. You won't even agree with the people who are around you. So why would I assume that you're going to agree with me? But again, maybe if this don't look like support to you, I don't know what to tell you. Okay. There's a lot of women, again, I could say it again, that know the right thing to do in a relationship and they will tell their homegirls purposely the wrong things to do to keep them bound so that if they go and find a man, they're like the couple goals of the friend group. Foolishness. Next thing I saw was, is there a day you can actually be impartial, or is it that you are so tired of women and in all situations they are just wrong? She needs help. What she doesn't need is all this. What she needs is people around her to tell her, girl, put the phone down. That's what I'm saying. See, I would not want some of you women, that are making these comments, to be my friend. Because you guys will, allow your friends to literally make a fool out of themselves, to embarrass themselves, to do all these things, humiliate themselves, all because she was just mad for a moment. You will allow your friends to literally go to jail. Because you're talking about she needs help, she need a hug, she need this, she need that. No. You're talking about being impartial. We know about this situation. How? How do we know about this? Let's stay on topic. How do we know? We know because she told us, right? There is no impartiality in this particular situation. The fact of the matter is that you came, you told, being of how big your platform is, being as, your kids are going to grow up and they could potentially eventually even see these things, like all of this. As a friend who loves your friend, you're going to be like, girl, no. I don't want to stay on this one too long because there's a lot of other comments that are attached or very similar to this one. And I'm going to break it down a little bit more. The next one, this comment was actually from a man. Ironically enough, she just talking about me being impartial and me being this. But this was actually a comment that was from a man. And it says, why don't you address Cardi B specifically instead of women in general? Cardi B has been a mentally unstable individual from the beginning. From a stripper to reality TV to rapper, she has embodied the ratchet persona. It's not surprising that this is the way she would handle this situation. I don't think the majority of women would have handled their particular situations in that manner. And first of all, this is not me saying this. This is a man in the comment sections who made this post. And let me tell you my perspective. One woman, there's like a couple of different personalities, right? There's way more similarities with a lot of people than differences. I don't know if a lot of people don't realize that, but that's why you can work a certain job and you see like, Tammy is the one that's in this position and Johnny's in this position. You go to a similar job in a whole different state and you say, oh yeah, this is like the Tammy of the job. This is like the Johnny of the job. Very similar characteristic traits, right? Or personality traits, I should say. This has nothing to do with anything else. Because and ironically, this person said, oh, I don't think the majority of women would have handled their particular situations in that manner. And that is not true. The amount of women who are baby mamas, who are exes, who are women scorned, who go on social media and publicly blast their exes, publicly, say terrible things about him. Father's Day come around, and just because the relationship didn't work out, you posting yourself on Father's Day talking about you the mother and the father. You get into a new relationship with somebody else, everybody knows who you were actually in a relationship prior, and you get into a new relationship, you talking about this is what a real man is. This is not a one size fits all. This is actually a very common thing that women do. A lot of women right now are even in relationships on TikTok talking about their husbands in the most nastiest, disgraceful manner. And their husband has no idea. There are women who go to work, and there are women at your wife's job or your girlfriend's job, possibly, who know way more about the intricate details of your marriage or your relationship than you have any idea about. This is not a one-off situation. This is not just something that is, specifically for one person. And this is why I always say, even in my videos, the reason why I purposely address women in general and not just the person is because, again, it's not a one-size-fits-all. There are a lot of women who can relate to her way of thinking. There are a lot of women who are doing the same behaviors. That's why. Okay, let's move on to the next one. The next one says, so what about what he's doing that is causing her emotional turmoil? That could then mess up her career. Let's talk about that also. Let's be honest, okay? Him doing something, nobody's refuting that. I don't know. I was not there. I don't know what he did. Nobody's refuting that he possibly did something. She obviously sounds very upset emotionally. To me, it don't sound like she acting. Some people saying she acting. To me, it sounds like this is a very authentic thing that she is talking about. She does sound deeply hurt. When are we going to understand that taking the situation and starting to deflect into other situations is not going to change what I'm talking about? Like, if I'm talking about this, I'm talking about this. Do you think that it is helpful or harmful for her, for the children, for the future, for her relationship? Because even though she said that she is single, there has not been any divorce documents filed. So how can it be healthy for you to be saying these things about your husband, about the father of your children, and you have not decided to literally leave, on paper, this relationship? It is only creating more and more and more bad memories. Because you're disrespecting him in the utmost publicly. And truth be told, you really don't know if you're done yet. A lot of women harm the relationship way further. The problem started here. Because of their emotions, because of their outbursts, because of their inability to control themselves, they bring the problem all the way up here. So now he got a problem. No, now she got a problem, and now he got a problem too. It's all fun and games, but and I say this too. I say this in real life to women as well. You can have the right and give it away, which means you can be in a situation where he has wronged you and you are in a space like, I never wronged you. I didn't disrespect you. I didn't say this. I didn't say that. And so you know what? If whatever situation, if you did this, or if you did that or whatever, I'm playing it cool. In the sense that I'm not going to stoop to this level. I'm not going to go tit for tat with you. At the end of the day, you might be upset. You might say something to him on the phone. You might have an argument verbatim, personally, but it's not public, number one. So number two, that creates that stability that maintains in a relationship. Women want to be able to do the things that men can do so badly. And by nature, it is just not reality. The minute that women come to grips with that is the minute that they will understand how to move for their best benefit. Okay, next comment. Next comment says, what do you mean ruin the family? He is the one stepping out on her. Please make it make sense. If he's cheating on her, she needs to leave. Yes, absolutely. Okay, but she didn't. So what now? And who's to say that if he cheated on her, she needs to leave? I know that's people gonna be like, what are you talking about, Rivah? No, that's the balance of relationships. Every relationship goes through things that are different. There are some things that people can handle and maintain and stay in a relationship and deal with, and there's some things that people cannot. Is every relationship going to experience infidelity? Probably not. Are there certain relationships where somebody can experience infidelity and stay in the relationship? Absolutely. What might be the end all be all for you might not be for somebody else. And again, this is the problem, because people will come in and the sisterhood will come and force you to make certain decisions, permanent decisions about your life because of your emotions and because of your feelings of what they would do. And they have no idea what they would do because they've never been in that situation before. They have no idea what they would do because they only been in a relationship for 2 years, 3 years maximum. And then when the spark is gone, they trade the man and try to go get a new one. People go through things. Some people go through things financially. Some people go through things with infidelity. Some people go through so many different things. Alcoholism. Some people go through physical things. Some people go through so many different things. And again, what one particular couple may not be able to make it through, another couple is able to go through and go to the other side of that and say, man, we really went through this. Let us tell you how to navigate. Let us lead with love. Let us see the real dynamics of the situation before we assume. But I don't think y'all ready for that conversation though. Because if y'all mad over the things I'm saying already, y'all definitely not ready for that. This woman says that I don't even like Cardi. I hate her actually. Hate is a very strong word. Okay. LOL, but you sound insane. Acting like Cardi is just harassing him. The audacity to say she's ruining her child's father by temporary emotions. He's a married man who cheated on his wife and family and didn't care about his family being broken. But you're preaching about his career being tarnished. That's pretty insane. And this entire video screams pick me mentality. So original. Okay, so original. Where'd you get that from? Yourself? Did you make that word up? Oh my gosh. Like, girl, please. First of all, I'm not going to stop saying it on what I'm saying. Regardless of you bringing up the past that he done cheated, in this particular situation, there has been a lot of speculation of what's going on. There has been speculation that, somebody that he dealt with before was at a certain party or whatever. There's been a lot of stuff that's going on. Let's run it back. Okay? She just came out publicly saying that she was single before this video dropped. Before the rant was her telling everybody that she has been single for months. She was ashamed to say it, that they are separated, that she feels so free. So if she is saying that she is single, if they have decided that the two of them are now single and whatever situation is taking place, I'm not saying that you might not be emotional about it, but to the extent of your emotions, it sounds like you regret that choice to be single. And if you regret that choice to be single, in my mindset, that means that there's a possibility of reconciliation. And if there's a possibility of reconciliation, it would behoove you to not do things that could possibly permanently change the trajectory of the additional income within your home based off of your feelings at this moment in time. That's real. If you don't understand that, that means you just don't want to understand. Okay? Next person says, we don't know what has happened. She may have been dealing with what he may have been doing, diminishing his career. Sounds like you are now trying to do the same. How? You literally made that up. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, you came over here and you made that up just so you can have something to say. You couldn't find nothing, so you just have to just bring something up to make it sound like something. because you want people to be able to just be, as free as they want, be as emotional as they want, just act off of emotions. And the real possibility is that acting off of your emotions majority of the time is very negative. If you are controlled by your emotions, that is not a positive thing. Most of the time. She said, I'm not going to defend his actions that he may or may not have done. Speaking on her outburst doesn't justify is right or wrong. Like you said, not go off actions. Okay, you lost me at the end because I'm not really sure exactly what you're talking about. This next woman says, are you a man? LOL. You're acting like you're not emotionally charged like most women. She is emotional, it sounds like. I'm not saying it was a nice way to handle it, but it sounds like an honest way. She seems like she is being honest about how she feels. There's nothing wrong with being honest about how you feel. There's nothing wrong with being emotional about a situation. There is nothing wrong with being angry. There's nothing wrong with being mad. But you see, when you're in a covenant with somebody, you want to keep that stuff to y'all. Because at the end of the day, you might be going through something, you might be against each other, but you do not want to open those doors for somebody else on the outside or everybody on the outside to have something to say about him. And then once you start saying stuff over and over again and you keep going back, now people are going to look at you crazy. All because you have opened the doors, the windows, the shutters, everything, the garage door for everybody to just flow in. And that can harm your relationship, if not the same amount, even more than the stuff that y'all two are doing in your own relationship. Again, this person said, you act like you're not emotionally charged. I'm emotional. I'm a woman. You ask me, am I a man, trying to be rude, trying to check me or trying to be disrespectful, trying to be nasty. But you can clearly see, my dear, you can clearly see. Of course I'm a woman. Of course I'm emotional. Of course I have feelings. But self-control also very much matters. Emotional maturity also very much matters. Because if you don't have emotional maturity as an adult, just for an example, if a man walk outside and he don't have emotional maturity, most of the time we end up seeing that person on the news. Same goes for women, just in general. Sometimes you got to just take a step back and just breathe. The fact that she said in the video, this is crazy that I'm going to the internet. I don't like to do the internet stuff. And then she did it. That's a sign right there. That even she believed that what she was doing didn't make sense. But because of her emotions, she overrode the logic to be able to do it. Can y'all stop acting like y'all don't know what I'm talking about, please? Please. Please. This is the same thing that a lot of women do. Again, I'm going to say it. When they're in a relationship with a man and they get backed into the corner because he starts saying too much right things, they either deflect, they start crying, or they start acting like they have no idea what he's talking about. They start acting like he's speaking a different language. Let's move on. Next one says, girl, please, you tripping. Cardi is having a public mental breakdown because of a long history of cheating and obvious abuse. Who said that? This is what I'm saying about women. This is dangerous. Why are you saying that? Who said that? I never heard her say that. Who heard her say that word? Not me. Now you throwing stuff on him. Now you start adding stuff. No matter the reason, having 2 small babies and being forced to get a divorce is devastating. I don't see anything that says anything about divorce. She said they were separated. She said they were single. I don't see anything publicly about any divorce at this time. Again, her rant was the reality of knowing she's about to lose half of everything she's worked so hard for. It can't be easy. Cardi tried to save her family. Much of mental cruelty is long suffering in silence. Hope this is never your reality. Praying for you, Cardi. And this is what a lot of women do too. Whenever they come in my comment section, what they try to do is, they will say things like, oh, because when them tables turn, when it's you, I hope that you keep this stuff in mind. The next comment said the same thing. River, you tripping. Keep that same energy when a man do you wrong. You know, every time women say silly stuff like this and defend men, it never ages well, always backfire. Everything that you are wishing and hoping that you will see in this regard negatively, that thing is on the first flight right back to you. Okay. You know what they say? I'm rubber and you're glue. It bouncing right back off of me and coming right. It's flying for you to stick right back to you. That you can see it in real time and say, oh. Because again, the women who are offended or upset about this situation or about the conversation is because they want to be able to do and act and say anything like there's no repercussion. Like even if somebody does something in a relationship, that you have all right to act a clear fool, to go buck wild, to start doing damaging things. We see it in court. Go turn on the episode of Divorce Court. You will see where they will say, okay, he did this to you, and then you took all his stuff and you threw it out the window and you gave his stuff away and this. Okay, you have to pay him money for that. Because just because he did wrong, your emotions caused you to physically damage his property, and now we have to pay for that. Ain't nothing, that's the truth. Women want to be in feelings and emotions, these women. Obviously, I'm not talking about all women when I say these things. I did not know that when I make disclaimers, I have to say, of course, not all women or women. No. Obviously, there's women who think contrary to this. I know, I see them in my comment section. I'm a woman who thinks contrary. There's a lot of women who have this mindset. But it's interesting because the women who have this mindset don't get offended when I say women, because they know if it don't apply, they let it fly. The only women who get mad and try to say, oh, well, this never aged well, this going to come right back to, well, I hope. That's because it applies to you. But the humility that it would take to just listen to the conversation is replaced by your ego. Which is why you have that mindset. Which is why you probably have trouble in your relationships. Next person said, dang, why can't you see how she's hurt and hold the man accountable for how he treats her? She loves him and truly did, and you still blaming her for what he did to her during all these years. He did her wrong and she's hurt. Give her a break instead of pushing the knife into her heart. You are entitled to your opinion, but it's trash. It's trash. Such a shame. Again. When you go, I'm going to use this for an example again. If you go to prison for doing something to somebody who did you wrong, okay? When you go to court, the judge will say, okay, I can understand what caused this situation, but since you were not in control of you and you were not in control of your emotions, you're going to jail. And people will say, oh, that's not fair because look what happened. But did you do the crime? Okay. Just asking. This one said, I guess it's supposed to say he's the same husband that cheated on her and talked about it in interviews. That's disrespectful. Not to mention, it makes her look like a fool for sticking by a husband that cheats and no telling how many times he's cheated. She sounds like all the other broken women in the world that love a man. At the end of the day, if he did something and she did not feel like that was something that was going to rip apart their covenant or ruin their marriage, and she stayed, why are you still mad? Why are you mad? The same person that said before, who said it before? This person, she's doing it because she's going to lose half and this and that, the history of cheating. Okay, but he stayed. But she stayed. She chose to stay. She wanted to stay. Why are you mad? She don't have control of a staying? Okay. Next one, the bottom comment was first. It says, sis, you clearly haven't seen the photo of the ops at his party. A private event that is an only invite event. He's diminishing his own self by moving and disrespecting his still wife. That's some cold stuff when you allow a person that sued your wife in your company hurt people, and I will be furious with him. You're speaking like you know what's going on behind closed doors. I don't know why I even watched this, because it seemed like you just bashed her for loving her husband and being hurt by his actions. It doesn't matter that she said she's been single a few days earlier. When it's your husband, it hit different. When he do you like Sid has done her. Again, speaking from experience as a married woman, I can relate. Okay, let's start with the bottom. You told me that I'm speaking like I know what's going on behind closed doors, but you're talking about some alleged photo and some alleged this and some alleged that when you don't know, because nobody has clearly spoken about what really happened or what made her say that. You might think it's something like this, or some all this story that is alleged that you might think have happened, and there's a strong possibility that it could literally be something that you don't have no clue about, something that is not even close to being on the internet. You don't know. Second of all, again, this is what women do. Move the goalposts. You bashing her for loving her husband. Girl, I can't even go through all of that, because honestly, I'm starting to get tired of even talking about this right now. Let me just move on. Okay. Next woman said he allowed himself to be emasculated. He accepted, which is ACC. Okay, let me not. Every piece of the bag she was throwing even before they got married. So maybe it was about the bag for him all along. She was willingly buying and he willingly went on the shopping trip, but I could be wrong. Okay, allowing yourself to be emasculated is crazy. When somebody is saying it over the internet, it's crazy. Next person said, I don't want to hear it. She need her sisters. She need her send herself from him. Next person says, I think it's normal to still have emotions toward your husband. You know, at the end of the day, let's stay focused here, people. Let's stay focused. I can't even address every single comment because, again, I'm kind of done talking about this. But let me just make it very blatantly clear. You see, let me talk to the women. I'm talking to you. Okay? I am talking to you. When you are in a relationship with a man, if you have not made the actual decision to actually end things, file for divorce, relationship is over, they always say, when you've had enough. Nobody has to tell you. Nobody has to convince you. You do not need the support of the sisterhood. You don't need the support of anybody when you know that you have reached your emotional and mental capacity of being in a certain relationship for a certain, for whatever it is that you have gone through. If you have not reached that limit and you are still in this, kind of like wading in the water situation with your relationship, it is not healthy. It would not behoove you to bring other people and their opinions into a situation that you guys already got going on. If they are not a therapist who is there for the betterment of the two of you, or if it is not somebody who is going to talk, unbiased and sit down and have a balanced conversation with the two of you. It is no problem to say, I understand that you are hurt. I understand that you are going things. Do you understand that somebody can hurt you, and because you're hurt, you can still do something wrong in the process just based off of you being hurt? Two things can be true at the same time. This person can blatantly hurt you and bring you to a limit that you really feel some type of way. There's nothing wrong with you feeling like that. But you can also then turn around and do something that is extremely wrong in the same process. Friends who love you and friends who are around you are going to be like, no, dude, get off the phone. Her friends in the beginning of the video were calling her and she's telling them, stop calling me. You know why they're calling her? Because they're trying to protect her. They're thinking of her best interest. They don't want anybody seeing her in that manner. Why? Because they love her. Not y'all who talking about we ride at dawn. Not y'all who calling this man dusty, this, that, and the third, and will try to force her to not be with this man when you don't even know what the actual situation was, and she might want to save her family. Because maybe there's a lot more details from both sides of the story that you don't know. That's the problem. When a woman talks, you just want all women to take the side of that one woman. Sometimes you sit down with him and you hear all the things that he's saying and you're like, hold up. Now, y'all both had a part to play in this. Y'all both have been wrong. Y'all both have been tripping. You both have been taking each other for granted. You both have been disrespecting each other. A lot of women don't want to hear that. Once it's a woman, we're on her side and she's right. Even if she's wrong, she's right. That's not healthy. That's not realistic. That's not logic. If I'm tripping, the people around me, I want them to be like, yo, you're tripping. My friends know. You call me, I'm going to say, okay, and what you did? What did you say? I know he said that to you and you so mad, but what did you say first? So he just came out the blue and said that to you? Why? Because I don't know him to be like that. Since when? What happened? And if I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, no. I'm going to call him and be like, hey, what, if he's there, I'm like, what? Bro. That's not cool. What's going on? What's you guys supposed to be here for each other. You're supposed to love each other. You're supposed to respect each other. You're supposed to support each other. What's going on? And if I know she wrong, I'm gonna be like, well, you owe him an apology. You tripping. You shouldn't have done. You shouldn't have said that. Okay, regardless of this, this was not right. I'm tired of talking about this. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to talk about this no more. I'm over it. I wanted to show you guys what people were saying to me. I think I've done that. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I would love to hear you guys' opinions on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you.